Hello everyone. My name is Sandra and I'm 28. I live in Houston, Texas, but I'm planning to move out soon. I was in a terrible marriage for a year and a half, but I managed to come out of it thanks to my father and the police. It was all my fault. I got myself into this. If I were a bit clever, maybe I would have done the right thing and said no to that marriage. I was always this very shy and aloof girl. I didn't quite like hanging out with people. I always stayed in front of my computer and had unlimited internet availability. I was completely engrossed in the virtual world. There were very few times I would go to pubs and enjoy a drink, but then there would be weird strangers who would approach me and try to make friends with me, but I strongly refused their offer as they were complete strangers and they could kidnap me. For heaven's sake, my mother died when I was 6. She had an untreated heart condition. I was raised by my father, who has worked as a mariner since the age of 23. He would often leave us for long journeys through adventurous waters to explore new things. I missed him a lot during those times. He would send letters to my mother and even try to call her whenever there was an opportunity. When my mom died, he came back. Tommy was crying like crazy beside the casket. He picked me up and tried his very best to console me. "Hey, my little girl, miss me. Wow, you have grown so much, Papa. Hey, now, Dove, it's all right now that Daddy's here. You'll be all right, I promise." I still kept crying in his arms, clutching his uniform. My dad slowly patted my back and kept humming my favorite lullaby until I finally fell asleep. That night, I saw him sitting alone on the couch drinking. He looked pale and sad. He kept muttering something to himself and then muffled his face on the cushion and started crying. That was the second time I saw him cry. The first was when I fell from the slide and hurt myself. Maybe he blamed himself for all the things that happened. He took a break for 2 months before leaving for work again. Before doing so, he left me with my grandmother, who took care of me while he was away. Be nice to Granny. I told Granny to teach you to bake your favorite sweets and your favorite dishes. You will learn from her, won't you? Yes, Dad, I will. Next time I come back, I would love to try out your dishes. Now I must go. My car is waiting. You take care of yourself, honey. He left, and I knew he would be returning after 6 months or so. He would often send me gifts and small souvenirs from the places he had visited. I would mostly stay indoors and help Grandma with her chores. I avoided playing with kids, I didn't like to. As I grew up, I became more and more dependent on the comfort of my room. My dad eventually sent me back to our old home. I hated going to college. I hated interacting with people. The internet gave me more confidence than the outside world could ever do. Each has its own story waiting to be discovered. It's both thrilling and comforting to talk to people I'll probably never meet in person. I can share my thoughts, feelings, and interests with them, knowing that they won't judge me for being an introvert in this vast sea of connections. I found friends who truly understood me through the screen. I've met people from different cultures, backgrounds, and experiences. It's fascinating to learn about their lives and to realize how similar we all are. Despite our differences, the internet has become a bridge that spans across continents, bringing us together in ways that were once unimaginable. I met a guy named Ricky. He was a streamer. At least that's what he told me. He first started with Chad, and then it went ahead with video calls. I often hid my identity by wearing a Batman mask, and he would put a scarf around his face and wear a beanie. "Hi Sandra, it's great to see you finally. Say hello, Rick. It was nice to meet you virtually, likewise. How are you doing today? How many people did you chat with in total?" "Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm just a bit nervous, to be honest with you." "That's completely normal, but trust me, I don't bite. I'm as awkward as you are. After all, it's our first proper conversation, so Rick, tell me more about you. How did you end up on this online platform?" "Well, I love meeting new people and exploring different perspectives. I tend to stay at home more often than I should, and this online community seemed like a perfect opportunity to do just that. How about you?" "I'm a typical introvert, so I find it a bit challenging to socialize in traditional settings. Online platforms provide a sense of comfort and allow me to open up a bit more. I completely understand that virtual connections can be surprisingly meaningful, and I'm glad we crossed paths. We chatted for a while, finding common interests and sharing stories about our lives. I began to feel more at ease as the conversation flowed naturally. You know, I never expected to feel this comfortable talking to someone online. Thank you for making it easy. It really helps that the feelings are mutual. Sandra, you're a great conversationalist, and I'm glad we connected. If you ever want to chat again, just let me know. I'm mostly online playing Mario. Oh, I forgot to ask, do you game Rick? By the way, no, I mostly blog and scroll through Reddit. There are some awesome kinds of stuff you can find there. I feel like I get to learn from other people's stories more than from real-life examples. True, I feel like our own lives can be such a bummer. Sometimes it's fascinating to get to know others, like, look at me. I trust my online friends more than the ones who exist in my life. The best thing about virtual stuff is that you don't have to feel obliged to keep in contact. You can take it or leave it as the conversation continues. Ricky and I built a genuine connection despite being virtual strangers. Our shared understanding and open-mindedness created a sense of friendship that transcended the screen. I'm not sure where this journey will lead me, but one thing is certain, my online experiences have shaped who I am. As I continue to navigate through life, I know that the lessons I've learned from my digital haven will always be a part of me. My father, on the other hand, is a very careful person, and if he finds out I'm making friends who I haven't even seen, he will get super pissed. The last time he came to me, he sat me down and ended up lecturing me during dinner. Dad, I graduated well, you wouldn't know you didn't come, oh Sandra. I was extremely busy, and I was sorry then and sorry now. I even emailed you, saying I would be there for your birthday. Tomorrow is my pumpkin's birthday. Stop calling me names. I'm no longer 6. You know, well, to me, you will always be my little dove. Anyway, what have you planned for the future? Are you thinking of working? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what your friends are doing currently. I do not have any friends. What left? I haven't shifted you to your mom's house so that you can stay home and not socialize with the world. There are so many things you're missing out on. So many people you won't be able to meet if you don't step out, honey. That's the problem, Dad. I don't know how to, but I'll try. I mean, I do make friends, but they are online. Sandra, that's the worst platform to make friends. Oh, Jesus, okay, well, fine. How about we go out today for a little bit of shopping, just you and me? I haven't been out at all recently. I don't know if I can. Absolutely you can. Sandra, you have to try. This is not a healthy way of living. I understand that ever since Mom died, you have become. Why are you bringing Mom into this? What are you trying to suggest? I am not suggesting anything, honey. I'm just saying that there are ways to move on. As much as we both love your mom, we must learn to move on. I don't know why, but I got very angry. I slammed the table and stood up. I didn't even want to finish my food. I took my plates towards the sink. Sandra, please do not give your father that attitude. I was trying to help you. Why don't you understand? You don't know anything about me, so don't even try to. I was so angry. I went online to find Rick. In the beginning, Ricky seemed like a nice person, understanding and willing to listen. I appreciated having someone to talk to, especially about the frustration that had been building up within me. Being an introvert, I always found comfort and solace in the familiarity of my home and the company of my computer screen. While others ventured out into the world, I preferred the safety of my virtual haven, where I could be myself without the pressure of face-to-face interactions. My father had been pushing me more often lately, ever since I told him that I spent most of my life online. I knew this would happen, but he wouldn't understand. He believed that staying confined within the walls of my room would hinder my growth and personal development. He wanted me to experience life outside my comfort zone, and that thought terrified me. I would vent my frustrations to Ricky, hoping he would understand my predicament. Hey, Sandra, do you want to meet up? I mean, we're both introverts, so we can meet up someplace that is quiet with not many people. I know a place like that, but I don't now. I feel like it's really sudden. I need time to think. I just wanted to tell you whatever was going on. All right, no worries. I can wait. Whenever you feel like it, you can always drop by here and take my address. You're always welcome. Why are you being so nice to me? I'm a stranger, am I not, because I like you like me? Are you serious? Yes, I know it sounds strange from my mouth, but I want to get to know you, and if you ever feel the same, you know where to meet me. It was a big deal for me. Stepping outside the world, my heart pounded with both excitement and nerves as I stood outside Rick's home, finally ready to meet the person I had been talking to online for the past month. He surprisingly lived very close to me, like a 20-minute drive or so. Gathering my courage, before knocking on the weathered wooden door, it creaked open, revealing Rick with a warm smile that instantly eased my apprehension. Quite a charming young man, his home might not have been what one would call complimentary at first glance, but there was something endearing about it that exuded a sense of authenticity and lived-in charm that made it feel welcoming. As I stepped inside, I couldn't help but notice the small details that revealed a lot about Ricky's character, the bookshelves filled with well-loved classics, the stack of board games, his computer setup, etc. Welcome to my humble abode. Your gracious presence was much needed, my fair master. Some gaming language I probably won't understand, but thank you. This is quite a cozy place. Do you live alone? Nope, my fair princess. I live with my mom. She lives downstairs. I have the top floor all to myself. Come, I'll show you around. We spent the day talking, laughing, and discovering even more about each other. Meeting in person added depth to our connection, and I felt a newfound appreciation for the person behind the screen. Rick was just as kind and genuine as I had imagined, and his quirky sense of humor only made me like him more as the sun dipped below the horizon. Rick suggested we take a stroll outside, and I agreed without hesitation. As we wandered along the nearby park, the conversation flowed effortlessly and my initial nervousness transformed into a feeling of comfort and ease. Being with him in person felt like an extension of our online chats, but with an added layer of intimacy that only face-to-face interactions could bring. Wait, are you telling me you didn't celebrate your birthday? Yeah, I didn't feel like it, plus my dad was really mean. I didn't know how to face him after the argument we had. Oh, I'm so sorry that it happened. I'm sure he'll come around. He's your father after all. I made a mistake. I trusted him too much. I felt like his words were honey, but I didn't realize I was just like one of his games. When we started to date, he became an overly possessive and jealous boyfriend. He would always make me talk to him on the phone or online. If I ever tried to chat with anyone else, he would get angry. He kept saying that he loved me a lot and wanted to protect me. I believed him. Why did I believe him? As our relationship grew stronger, it became apparent that his mother didn't approve of me. It was disheartening to know that she harbored such negative feelings towards someone she hadn't even met in person. Her disapproval weighed on me, and I couldn't help but wonder why she couldn't see the love and care we had for each other. Rick's close relationship with his mother was evident, and he often referred to himself as a mama's boy. Well, I respected the bond they shared. It also created a sense of distance between us. I understood that family was essential to him, but I couldn't help feeling like an outsider, trying to navigate the complexities of his mother's disapproval. The strangest thing ever was that his mother low-key wanted us to marry off. She knew I had no one in the world, and my father doesn't stay with me. She probably thought I would be a great servant to her needs. Not every parent is perfect. Look at your dad, for instance. At least my mother cares about me, please. Rick, you know, when you talk like that, it really hurts, and then you know I'm the only one for you right now. Your dad doesn't love you, so stop complaining so much about my life and try to compromise. We had a secret marriage. Ricky didn't allow me to invite my father, saying that he would never approve of this wedding. He successfully brainwashed me into thinking that my dad doesn't love me. I silently got married to him. I knew I had landed myself in dangerous waters, but I was a weak character. Call me a lame woman, but my personality was molded by my surroundings, and I blamed myself for not trying. After a few months of marriage, I began to see a side of his mother that I had never expected, one that was filled with cruelty and malice. She seemed to take pleasure in torturing me emotionally, making me question my worth and leaving me feeling broken and defeated. It started with subtle comments and passive-aggressive remarks, chipping away at my self-esteem bit by bit. I tried to brush it off, believing that her disapproval would fade with time, but instead it intensified, turning into a full-blown campaign of emotional torment. What is this? Do you call this food? Do you expect my boy to eat this atrocity? Stupid girl, or why is there so much dirt here? Are you blind? What a shabby girl. Get up, lazy girl. Take the trash out. Now, Jesus, have your parents taught you nothing? Her words cut like a knife, leaving scars that ran deep within my soul. She would question my every decision, belittle my achievements, and manipulate situations to make me feel unworthy of Ricky's love. And my amazing husband would be in his room either listening to a song or playing video games. It felt like I was trapped in a never-ending nightmare, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't escape her grasp. I was pent up with internal rage inside me. My own stupidity and weakness added up to that rage. How can I be so weak? I missed my dad. I was regretting fighting with him. I shouted at him and told him to leave me alone with a heavy heart. He left a few days after my birthday. Now I was stuck here. I deserved every bit of it. One day, I was not feeling really well. I felt very feverish, so I tapped myself on the sofa. I thought maybe a nap would do me some good. I was almost asleep when suddenly, a cold gush of water violently splashed at me. I woke up extremely startled and panicky. It was Ally. She had a disgusted look on her face. "What the hell are you doing?" "Sleeping on our couch." "Did you go get our groceries as ordered?" I stayed silent. "Oh, I see. You want your old mother-in-law to do all the dirty work while you lay around. You devil." She slapped my face and started calling out Ricky's name. I couldn't take it anymore. "I am not doing anything for you or your useless son. I've had enough of you. Go find someone else to bother." "I can't and I won't. I didn't get a single respect from this family. I don't care anymore." I was about to leave when something blunt fell on the back of my head. I blacked out. When I woke up, I found myself in a semi-dark room with a small bulb lid at the center. My head was so hurting that I struggled to get up on my feet, but wobbled and fell down again. It was hurting everywhere. Where was I? I could hear muffled sounds from somewhere, and they grew louder as they approached me. I tried to crawl toward the sound and found a metal door with a small window. I took its support to get up on my feet. It unlatched and swung open, revealing Ricky grinning at me. "Is my wife scared of the dark?" "What is this, Ricky? Please get me out of here. This is not funny." "Shut up. This is exactly what you get for raising your voice at my mother. Now I will make sure you never see the day again." "I'm sorry, I'll do anything. I promise I won't complain. Please let me out. I beg you, not so soon, Buttercup. If you behave, I might think of releasing you for now. This would be your little cave. It's not like you like going out anyway, and besides, who do you have? Your mom is dead. Your dad doesn't love you. You're nothing but a forgotten soul. My house gave you a chance to start over, but you wasted it. I'll make up for it. I really didn't mean to, Ricky. Please let me out. I don't like being in the dark. You're a daddy's little girl, aren't you? How about you scream his name? He would magically appear somehow and rescue this little princess." He shut the window and went away. As I sat in the cold, dark basement, fear and anger coursed through my veins. How did things escalate to this point? All I had done was refuse to follow my mother-in-law's unreasonable orders. I had lost all hope, but wait, there was a faint blinking of the screen. I could still call my dad. The screen was really faded, but I knew my dad's number by heart. With trembling hands and tears streaming down my face, I dialed his number, my voice shaking as I told him what had happened, hoping against hope that he could somehow save me from this nightmare. 2 days later, when I was half dead in despair, it threatened to consume me entirely. I heard a car pull up outside the house. My heart pounded in my chest as I strained to hear the sound of footsteps coming down the stairs when the door swung open, revealing my father. Standing tall and unwavering, a mix of relief and disbelief washed over me. I couldn't believe he had dropped everything and rushed to my aid. He brought a few cops along with him. Rick and Ally were immediately arrested. They tried their best to lie, but their attempts were in vain. "You have no idea what you both have waiting at court, you psychopaths. What have you done to my little girl, sir? We are truly sorry. We meant no harm. I was thinking of releasing her today, I swear, and who are you to decide the punishment for my daughter? You look like something out of a sewer. Okay, come on, Sandra, let's go." As my dad escorted me out of that dark basement, I felt a newfound sense of courage and determination. The ordeal was far from easy, but it had shown me that I could face challenges head-on with the unwavering support of my Marine dad by my side. From that day forward, I vowed to stand up for myself and never let anyone take away my voice. I just hope Ricky and his mom rot in jail. I'm planning to move to New Orleans with my dad. Texas was not safe for me anymore, and yeah, I will make sure not to ever rely on online strangers anymore.